Well, hello there, motherfuckers. And since, people want me to talk about wrestling, they, want wrestling, they crave wrestling. I'm going to give you some wrestling here on this channel. And there's really not a lot to talk about, so I'm going to have to go back to talking about Goldberg again. And so here's the thing. I will give them that the internet was all a Twitter that, Goldberg basically squashed Brock Lesnar. Now, I understand the argument that a lot of people are making that, this was build up. It was shocking. It was meant to be shocking. Brad, you talk about you want shocking out of wrestling. You said that that's what wrestling was missing, the crash TV, the surprises, the unexpected. That is true. It is about that, but it's also about quality. Just getting a surprise is just like, hey, look, you can get a surprise. Someone can hand you a gift box. You open up the gift box, and hey, it's a gift, right? Surprise! Whoa, I'm surprised! I didn't expect a gift. But then you open up the fucking box, and it's just a big lump of shit. No, literally, your friend took a shit and put it in the box. Now it was a surprise, and boy, you're gonna be surprised when you open that box and see that lump of shit in there. But it is a lump of shit. So that's not really a quality gift. I mean, it's the thought that counts, but it's a lump of shit. Okay? So, not a very good surprise. Not a surprise that, don't get any ideas and do this, people. I wouldn't recommend giving boxes full of shit to friends or family members. But that's basically what it is. And I feel like we're kind of getting the same thing here with what happened in Survivor Series. You know, instead of getting a match, I'm not saying it would be a good match or anything like that, but they put an injured Goldberg in there. I don't know how the fuck he got injured. I mean, fucking seriously. I don't know what it is, but, it's not a coincidence. I'm sorry, but WWE is just cursed. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're paying for the fact that they've tortured us for years with shitty fucking wrestling, and they're just kind of I wish it wasn't at the expense of these athletes, but I mean, like, fuck, it's gotta be some kind of bad omen or something. Everybody who steps into a WWE ring within the past couple of years is fucking, you know, been decimated. I mean, all these fucking wrestlers, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Sting, everybody. I mean, Seth Rollins is fucking injured a lot of these people. I mean, but the thing is, I mean, like, fuck. People are getting injured like fucking crazy. But the thing is, they could have done this so much better. We could have had at least a little bit of a match. Let it go on for 5 minutes or so. You know, I like, once again, Vince Russo's idea that he said, it could have been like Brock Lesnar and John Cena at SummerSlam. It goes on for a little bit of time. Now, I know people are going to say that Goldberg is 50 something and Brock Lesnar is a lot younger than him, so they couldn't have that same match, because Cena and Brock Lesnar are basically the same age. So they're not going to be able to have that same style of match. I get that, but it's either you give us a little bit more or you don't give us the match at all. I mean, I know it's not like maybe it was the fact that he was injured and this is all that they could do, but I kind of have a feeling that based on the way how WWE is, this is kind of how they intended it from the start. I really truly believe that this is how they planned it to go. They didn't change anything because of injuries. We don't even know how injured Goldberg truly is. They're not going to let you know that. So this is the plan that they had. They wanted it to be shocking. Goldberg beats Brock Lesnar in a minute, in 26 seconds, whatever it was. The thing is, it's like, now it's done, and that's it. And we see Raw, and it's back to business as usual. It would be different if they took this and they ran with it. But what are we getting? Goldberg is going to compete in the Royal Rumble. So I guess Brock Lesnar is going to screw him out of the Rumble, just like they did in 2004. It's going to be the same fucking storyline. It's going to be the same fucking thing. I mean, and here's the thing, guys. What I really have to say, it's like why I couldn't give a shit fucking less. We're in 2016. Now, we've gone on with this nostalgia for years and years of bringing back guys, and here's the thing. We're still nowhere even close to having stars like Stone Cold and The Rock. Now here's the thing. Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Triple H, all Attitude Era stars, and we said these were the best guys. We went into the Ruthless Aggression era and we saw guys like Batista and John Cena, and we said that, well, these guys are not as good. Now, we still had Undertaker in there, we still had Kane, they still carried over from the Attitude Era, because let's face it, the Attitude Era wasn't really that long. Ruthless Aggression Era was like double the fucking length, triple the length of Attitude Era. Was like 3 fucking years. It didn't really go on for that long. Ruthless Aggression Era was like fucking 6 fucking years. It was double the length. But we said back then that it wasn't as good. Then the PG era came along, and it certainly wasn't as good as the Ruthless Aggression era, and definitely not as good as the Attitude era. So now we're all the way at 2016. I don't even know what era this is. The new era, the reality era, was still in the PG era. It's still rated PG. So technically it must be the PG era. I don't know what fucking era it is. Quite frankly, I don't even give a fuck anymore. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's the I don't give a fucking shit era. Because not only do they not care, I don't care. Millions of other people don't fucking care. Because this is fucking garbage already. They bring back Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. First of all, like I said, in my initial reaction to this match, even before the match even happened in Survivor Series, I said, who was asking for this match? Yes, I know, they put it together to promote the video game, which I think is fucking sad, just by itself. But the thing is, this is the most exciting thing that they've probably announced in years. That's the sad fucking thing about it. And look what this company's become. Like I said, first of all, the brand extension led to a drop in ratings the first time they did it. They didn't handle it well. It started off okay. It was okay, I get the idea. It was going to give an opportunity to wrestlers who weren't getting enough TV time. This way you split up the rosters, and now you wouldn't have wrestlers appearing twice a week, but once a week, so it felt more special. More people would get TV time, but there was way more problems. There was overexposure. We've got the same thing going on nowadays. So they actually went back to a failed concept in the brand extension, but we're not going to talk about that. It's basically going back to Goldberg. We're going back to something from fucking 12 years ago. A match that was horrid, that nobody even wanted to see. It was probably better off that they just never did it again. They do it again, and like someone said, how the fuck did they even make it worse? Someone said that in the comments. Somehow they fucking managed to make it fucking worse. I don't know how the fuck they did it, but leave it to WWE. They're a bunch of talented people. It takes talent to make something that fucking bad. It really does. How the fuck can you fuck up something that's already fucked up? Well, guess what? They fucked it up. And my God, that's a lot of fucks. But I'll tell you something. They really did a number on this fucking concept of Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, back then at least you had, a crowd that was just like dissatisfied. Now it was like this match, like people were even cheering it. They were cheering fucking shit. Because that's what they do now. This is awesome. They cheer shit. They love shit. They love garbage. That's what it is. First of all, nobody should even be going to these fucking shows. First of all, if you're spending money on this fucking garbage, I mean, really. If you're spending money on this fucking trash, I feel really fucking sorry for you. This is fucking garbage. It sucks. It's horrible. They haven't even built any new stars. They tried building fucking Finn Balor into a fucking star. The guy's already fucking injured. Seth Rollins injured him. He's injuring fucking everybody. They go back. They're so desperate. They have to have Sting, a guy that they could have probably easily gotten into their promotion if it wasn't all about politics and Vince McMahon being stubborn. They probably could have had Sting fucking 10 years ago, or probably even earlier than that. They could have had Sting. So they bring Sting in 2015, and the guy gets injured at the hands of Seth Rollins. Well, fuck that. I mean, the thing is, don't you see? Because they have failed to build new stars, they have to rely on these older guys that just can't cut it in the ring anymore. I mean, how long are you gonna push these people? The Undertaker. I mean, my God, guys, I have to say this: The Undertaker is fucking incredible. This guy, I mean, he deserves a medal. They have to put him in the Hall of Fame, whatever it is. I mean, this guy is the elite. I mean, he must love this company so fucking much. This guy could have retired long ago. Either he really loves fucking making the money. He would make plenty of money even in retirement. Based on all the fucking DVDs and shit that they would do, promotional stuff for him. But the thing is, this guy has been competing for so long for them, giving so much back to the fucking business. I mean, this guy should have been retired a long time ago. And he just keeps going. He still puts out good matches, is the fucking thing. But where would they be without The Undertaker? Where would they be without the intrigue of The Undertaker? I mean, this guy is giving them so much. But it also shows that they can't come up with fitting replacements anymore for the older guys. They used to. You know, there's no Hulk Hogan being replaced by Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and then Stone Cold and, you know, even like Batista's and stuff like that and Triple H's. They just don't have these fucking stars anymore. It doesn't exist. They don't know what they're fucking doing anymore. They've lost their knack. They've lost their talent. They can't cut it anymore. They don't know what they're doing. I'm sorry, but the Seth Rollins, the Finn Balor's, the Kevin Owens, they're just not cutting it. And it's quite obvious by the ratings. They gotta go back to fucking Goldberg, for God fucking sakes, because they've got nothing else. There's no other stars. They're so fucking desperate they have to go back and you know, put a match that's supposed to just be a fantasy in a video game. And the thing is, like I said, the match was considered to be one of the worst of all time by a lot of people. I know I sat there and watched it live. I was at MSG at the time. It was a bad match. And they actually put that shit out again. I mean, it really just shows just how fucking clueless they really are. That's why I can't watch this shit anymore. I mean, by now, we've been saying this for fucking years. I mean, I remember reading this in Pro Wrestling Illustrated back in high school. When's the next wrestling boom period gonna come? When's the next wrestling boom period gonna come? Do you realize that the wrestling boom period ended like in 2001, 2002, roughly more 2001, I think, to a point, because people didn't like the WCW Alliance shit? Well, it has gone over a decade now, a decade and a half even, and we're still not at another wrestling boom period. So the thing is, it's time to fucking abandon hope, is basically what I'm trying to say here in this video. They're not gonna get better. They haven't even shown a glimmer of hope. From time to time, we thought maybe, just maybe, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, how many times are we gonna get fooled by them, saying this is gonna be it? This is gonna be the year. We say this every single fucking year. They're gonna get better. They're not gonna get better. It's quite obvious. Like I said, they've got the network. They know that they're not as good as they used to be. They always say this in specials. They even admit to it in like the Monday Night Wars on the network. They even say they don't have to try as hard anymore. They're not competing with anybody, so they're not going to try. So and that's the thing. They're not going to try anymore. They're coasting along. We're not. I mean, what is? I've never seen this before with a show or anybody, like a director or anyone who just makes anything creatively. I'm just not gonna try anymore. It's just like, oh, it's like, imagine like a painter, or like I said, a director, a filmmaker. Like if you heard Spielberg or Scorsese say like, well, I had some good movies in the past, and those were good movies, but we're just kind of gonna do our thing right now and not really try to. No, if you are like in something creative, you always try to top yourself. You got to do better. There's no reason for anybody to stick around if you're not going to try to be, like they said about a wrestler, you're only as good as your last match, right? Remember they said this? They've said this time and time again. That's an old saying among wrestlers. If it really is, if not, it's just what they say on DVDs. But whatever the fuck it is, it's like you're only as good as your last fucking show, and they haven't had a good show in fucking years. Well, a truly great show, right? So the thing is, how long are we gonna put up with their bullshit and the fucking lies that they're gonna get better? Because they're not getting better. If they're getting worse. So, like I said, I'm not gonna sit around and wait for them to get better when they're clearly acknowledging that they're not even gonna try. If they're not gonna try, I mean, that is really a very, very stupid thing to do, is to sit there and fucking watch it and support it and give them fucking ratings and give them attention. We're gonna do videos on it here on YouTube, review the fucking show, showing WWE that we actually give a fuck about them. I think the smartest thing to do is to not give a fuck. Show them, fuck you. You're not even gonna try. I'm dedicated. I spent years. I spent so much fucking money on this product. I bought the fucking games, the DVDs, the action figures, spending all the fucking money on the events, going to them. And how do they repay their fans with fucking garbage and outright admitting that they're not as good as they used to be? So the thing is, normal thinking people who are not Vince McMahon and whoever's working around them at the moment, it's Stephanie McMahon, normal thinking people would say to themselves, hey, we're not doing so good. The ratings are falling. We have a product that used to be good, that used to be full of great storylines and characters, and fans would sit down in awe and in interest, and they couldn't wait to see what happened next. Week after week, Raw ended on a cliffhanger. You couldn't wait to come back next week. You'd wait the whole week to see what was going to happen with your favorite wrestler so they could continue the storyline. And now you don't get anything. It goes from show to show. There's no storylines. It's match, 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 promo, 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 match, match, match. Garbage, garbage, garbage! Fucking garbage! No reason to come back week after week and watch this fucking show, because it has no future to really look forward to. Like I said, it's not going to go out of business anytime soon, but the thing is, they really deserve to. Really. If you're a business operating and you have no interest in providing a quality product, get the fuck out off the market. I mean, for fuck's sakes, just it makes no fucking sense to me. Why continue on if you're not as good as you used to be? And you fucking know that you're not as good as you used to be, so get the fuck out. Get the fuck out already. Get the fuck out of this business. Get the fuck off TV. Because if you're not a good show anymore, it's just these mindless retards. There's always going to be that little sect of people that are going to keep defending this shit. They want to keep talking about it constantly on YouTube. They'll demand that I keep talking about it. And the thing is, no, I'm not going to keep talking about it. I'm definitely not going to talk about it at the rate that I was in the past, because like I said, it's kind of pointless after a while. It's not getting better. We're coming here week after week. It's bad, it's shit, it's shit. I make 1,000 fucking comparisons to it actually being like fecal matter. How many fucking more times can I come back in a video and keep attacking WWE? And the thing is, it's stupid, because it's like it's beating a dead horse. The horse has been dead for fucking years, and I'm still hitting it with a fucking bat. I mean, it's pointless. It's almost like mean. It's like picking on a retarded person. It's almost like they can't help it at this point. I mean, really, it's like it seems like they're fucking disabled. I don't fucking know anymore. They're not even trying. It sucks. It's garbage. It's filth. It's garbage. And I don't like it. Fuck it, and fuck Goldberg, and fuck all this fucking shit. People are saying they want him to be world champion. Goldberg is world champion 2016. Yeah, okay. So that might get some interest. You know what the thing is? Yes, they will get some interest on Facebook, but the thing is what is with them? I never understood this. It was like, remember when they had Bret Hart return, and then Vince McMahon low blowed him, and then in 2010, and then he didn't like appear for a whole month. It was like the follow up is just it's unbelievable. Back in the day, it would have been like he would have been back next week, and that's the same thing. It's like, and now they go away, and they don't come back. And that's what they do with Brock Lesnar. He should be there week after week with Goldberg. They should be building this story. But they don't fucking do that. He goes away. He's not going to be back for another month or two. And so you're just left sitting there just waiting for the next part of the story, and it doesn't come. And by the time they do start continuing, it either sucks or you don't fucking care anymore. What the fuck is the point, people? I don't see one.